I'm going to admit this right now. I don't really know how to rate this particular episode. I don't think anyone does. Actually, the general consensus is that it's pretty good, as it was voted the third best episode of Season 3 by the fans. But it gives me mixed feelings. In fact, this episode gives me so many mixed feelings that it inspired me to make my hit point system. Speaking of which, watch that thing because it's going to be going up and down a lot. And to keep things manageable, I won't add or subtract more than 3 points at a time. Are you ready? Let's begin. The episode starts with most of the main 6 and Spike waiting around for Princess Celestia. The only one not there are Fluttershy and Applejack because they're doing something at Sweet Apple Acres. Apparently, Princess Celestia is late because she's bringing a visitor with her. And that happens to be Discord. Visitor is a very odd term to use here.
With all due respect, Princess Celestia, how could you bring Discord here?
Okay, that was funny. Of course, the main 6 are angry to have Discord around. In fact, Pinkie doesn't like the fact that he made a rain chocolate milk without any whipped cream. Wait, I thought she really liked the chocolate rain. No, don't subtract a point. It's not important enough.
But I have use for Discord's magic if it can be reformed to serve good instead of evil.
Care to elaborate? No, seriously. Remember what he did last time? I honestly don't see how those powers can be used for good, unless there's something major you're not telling us. And if that's the case, stop spouting cryptic bullshit! At the very least, the main 6 are prepared this time. If Discord gets out of hand, they'll just use the elements of harmony, provided Discord doesn't teleport them again.
And I've cast a spell so Discord can't take them and hide them again.
Fair enough. Celestia suggests that Fluttershy may be the best at reforming Discord because potatoes. Yes, I know there are a bunch of reasons and arguments why Fluttershy would be the best one for the job. She couldn't be corrupted until Discord stopped playing around, that she could be chaotic herself, etc. The problem is that Celestia doesn't explain why, even when Rainbow asks about it. We cut to Fluttershy and Applejack, who is having some problems with a beaver. Fluttershy is mediating between them. The beaver will move his dam if Applejack apologizes.
Mr. Beaverton Beaverteeth, such language!
Okay, that was funny. Rainbow Dash comes up to them and rounds them up. Celestia tells Fluttershy the task at hand. Then she explains that she trusts Fluttershy and only Fluttershy can do this, but still doesn't explain why.
Now I must return to Canterlot for Equestria's Royal Summit.
Wait, what?
I must return to Canterlot for Equestria's Royal Summit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna drop Satan on your doorstep and then I'm gonna go home several cities over. Well, you deal with that. Tell me how it goes, you know, if you're still alive and he doesn't end up turning the world to hell. Bye now! Even after all this time, you're still an asshole! The main 6 use the elements of harmony to release Discord, and they decide that it would be best to keep their elements on at all times. So Discord comes out and immediately starts creating minor levels of chaos, and some of the jokes are good enough to earn a point. Oh yeah, Discord was completely aware the entire time he had been turned to stone. He doesn't seem to mind that much, though. He doesn't even seem to be fazed at being threatened to be turned back into stone.
Try us, Dipcord!
Okay, did she say Dickcord?
Try us, Dipcord!
I hear Dickcord. Awesome! When Discord doesn't want to change the animals back to normal, Fluttershy threatens to use the stare. Wait, what? Whatever happened to this?
I couldn't. I don't really have any control over when that happens. It just happens.
I suppose this brings me to my first major problem with the episode. It's really fanficky. What do I mean by that? It's a story with an idea that likes to defy logic to have the idea happen. And yes, I know that Teddy Savina, who's a fan of the show, wrote the episode. But Dave Polsky is the one who's putting things on the screen, so there's no excuse for this. Either way, it feels like a fanfic. And with Fluttershy attempting to use the stare, a fanfic cliché, it cements its status this way. I mean, all we're really missing is Pinkie rambling on about cupcakes. The stare doesn't end up working because, I don't know. Either Fluttershy really can't control it, making her seem like an idiot, or Discord is just immune.
Turns out we need to use our elements against you. I'm sure we can convince Princess Celestia it was for a good reason.
Yeah, I'm sure you could, because someone somewhere gave her the idea to unleash the only opponent who ever defeated the main 6, even for a brief amount of time. So Discord changes the animals back, and then he snaps his tail and some beavers turn evil. Discord tells them that he's going to be staying with Fluttershy. That's logical enough, I guess. More logical than a lot of things that have happened so far, at least. Fluttershy's going around fixing up her house. She's trying to be accommodating, but Rainbow Dash doesn't want her to listen to him.
Just trying to drive a wedge between us like he always does.
Does once really justify an as he always does? They have some wordplay, then Discord grows and launches Angel off the couch. Thank you! It also breaks a lamp, which Discord is happily able to fix. And then he flicks Angel off of the couch again. Can you please keep doing that for the rest of the episode?
We'll be outside.
Yes, Celestia said that Fluttershy was the one to reform him. That doesn't mean you have to leave. I can see where your loyalties lie, Rainbow.
And I think I actually know what to do.
And that's the seed of my main problem with this episode. It'll grow as we go along, but Fluttershy has got a plan, and that's to be kind to Discord and let him be her house guest. Right now it doesn't seem so bad, I realize. Twilight comes outside and Rainbow Dash thinks that they should come up with a backup plan, and Twilight's got an idea. Yeah, we'll get to that. Right now we gotta deal with Fluttershy discovering Discord eating paper, much to her surprise. Alright, that's funny enough. Anyway, Fluttershy leaves, and we see the demented beavers running back and forth. Discord comes back inside and starts messing with Angel again. During this torment, he reveals that he's playing Fluttershy for a fool. I think we could have figured this out ourselves, which would make this scene entirely pointless.
The spell I had in mind isn't in here.
And what spell would that be, Twilight?
I really want to have a reforming spell up and running pronto.
Wait, I thought you were one of the good guys. Seriously, a reforming spell? You have a spell that can essentially erase someone's personality and pretty much make them do whatever you want. Last time I checked, the heroes don't use the Imperial Curse because, you know, it's evil enough for you to be sent to Azkaban for life. Luckily, I guess, maybe, Discord took care of all of the reforming spells. Back to Fluttershy and Discord, who is making the house rotate, and Fluttershy is okay with it. I just realized this episode's biggest problem. You know that paradox, what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Yeah, this episode is actively trying to answer it, which is doomed to fail. Oh, by the way, Angel is rotating in the house, and it's really funny. By the way, can we hurry the scene up? I'm getting vertigo. Thank you. Fluttershy flies outside and we see the demented beavers moving more tree branches. Fluttershy believes that she's earning Discord's trust, and then she learns that Discord took all of the reforming spells from the library, and Twilight learns that Discord has been eating paper.
He ate them?
I just love that line. Anyway, Fluttershy believes that she's been doing a good job, and to prove it, she invites the rest of the main six to a dinner party to her house this evening. Alright, this episode has a major pacing problem. Everyone agrees on that because, spoilers, Discord's reformation comes way too quickly, and it makes it look like Fluttershy reformed him in one afternoon. I'll count the strikes here because this is exactly where it could be fixed. Instead of inviting everyone for a dinner party that evening, she could have invited them to a dinner party in a week, or some other time in the near future. It really is that simple. I have a hard time believing that Fluttershy could befriend anyone in a single... Yeah, I couldn't say that with a straight face. Alright, it'd be more believable if you extended the time that Fluttershy and Discord have been interacting.
Even get him to put the cottage back on the ground first.
Okay, that's worth a point. Everybody goes to dinner, while we see the demon beavers in the background. The main six come inside, and it actually seems like Discord is reformed. Actually, it seems like he's playing Fluttershy, and the main six notice it. There are definitely some creative visuals and some pretty good humor in this scene.
That's one creepy little gravy boat if you ask me.
You think that's creepy? Wait until you find out about Twilight's, never mind. That's another review entirely. Eventually, the dinner decides to assault the main six, and Fluttershy scolds Discord for it.
It's only doing what you're making it do.
Now let's not jump to any conclusions.
You stupid or just blind? How is he playing innocent? Who else in the room is making the dinner assault them, considering it's not Twilight and it's certainly not Rarity? Yes, I know what Fluttershy is trying to do, but I just wish she'd make it a lot less obvious. I already deducted points for the pacing, but Polsky, it takes more than a sad face on day one to get the point across. Angel enters the room and pantomimes that Sweet Apple Acres is entirely underwater. Yep. The entire farm is flooded. I'm not going to ask how beavers built all of that in one day, or how no one noticed the beavers creating it, because in all honesty, it really doesn't matter.
You see Discord's behind all this, right?
Do you all think I'm a silly, gullible fool?
No, at this point I'm beginning to think you're something much, much worse.
I've just been trying to gain his friendship any way I can, so he'd come to trust and listen to me.
Wow, Polsky, you're really bad at this moral thing, aren't you? Okay, if you don't know what that meant, Fluttershy is essentially saying that she's been trying to gain Discord's friendship to control him. In other words, so she can say, if you don't do exactly what I say, I won't be your friend anymore. She's using her affections to manipulate others, which is a very underhanded and cruel thing to do. We have words for people like that. In most stories like this, one character tries to befriend another to essentially open their heart and teach them better ways. It's only until they get pissed off do they revoke their friendship. Here it seems like Fluttershy was going to do that from the start, that she knew her friendship would be a leash and she could use it to restrain Discord. Maybe that wasn't her intent, but that seems to be the lesson that this episode ends up teaching. Upon Discord's request, Fluttershy vows to never use her element against Discord, believing that her leash is fully hooked. It wasn't, so he turns the farm into ice. Fluttershy goes out and essentially tells him that if he isn't going to do what she says, then they're not going to be friends anymore. There's definitely a way to do this, you know, with tact. If Fluttershy wasn't so blunt with saying that she's not his friend anymore, and instead coldly walked away only for Discord himself to realize this might have worked. Oh yeah, and don't make it seem like she was planning this from the start either. Instead, like I said, it seems like Fluttershy is simply trying to control him by the way you've written it. I already deducted the points for pacing. They've spent one day together where demonstrably nothing happened.
I guess when you're friends, you can't always have things exactly your way all the time.
Unless it's one-sided like yours. Do you really think that Fluttershy is going to give a damn if you threaten not to be her friend? Congratulations, Discord. Welcome to a parasitic relationship. So, Discord goes to Celestia and vows to use his magic for good instead of evil.
Come on.
right. Friendship is magic.
That was awkward and forced. Oh yeah, and Celestia leaves the elements of harmony with the main six. That's kind of important, maybe.
He can be a real sweetheart once you get to know him.
And you can be a cold-hearted... Why does every other Fluttershy episode make her so incredibly manipulative and mean-spirited? I previously said that Polsky's worst moral was feeling Pinky keen. I think I was wrong. This is his worst moral. The moral in Pinky keen didn't bother me like this one does. Then again, using your affections to control others isn't the moral he was trying to teach. I hope. But besides that, this episode still leaves me incredibly conflicted. It's really fun to watch, but it leaves me with a painfully sour taste in my mouth. Even though I am failing this episode, I still don't know what to feel about it. It's got some of the best humor since Too Many Pinkie Pies, but boy is this one flawed. Everyone brings up the pacing, but that's probably the only flaw that doesn't really bother me, since it could have easily been fixed. And if Fluttershy ever wanted to be your friend, I don't think you'd be able to resist for even a single afternoon. My problems actually start at the beginning, with Celestia just dumping Discord and telling the main six to deal with it. It's like the concept itself is bad, though I really don't want to say that, since it's not the concept, it's the execution. But my god, it's simply like they needed an excuse, no matter how bad, to have a plot with Discord. Yeah, I can't deny that this episode is fan service at its finest. Now, fan service in itself isn't a bad thing, but don't make it the main point. Writers, remember, we didn't enter this fandom for Discord or for certain background ponies. We entered this fandom for its lighthearted nature, its great characters, good humor, and great moral values, without any of the cynicism we find in other shows. Having things like Discord are great, but please, if you're going to bring characters like this back, then actually have a reason beyond fan service, or else you come off as literal genies. In fact, that seems to be a major problem with most of Season 3. I'm not saying Season 3 is bad. In fact, it's been pretty good so far, but each season has its own consistent problem, and too much fan service would probably be Season 3's. You know, like people saying that they wanted an Applejack episode where she didn't get overshadowed. Okay. Writers, tell the stories you want to tell, or else you make it seem like you're desperately trying to cling to your popularity, and that's another feeling that this episode gives me. Still, that doesn't overshadow my biggest problem with the episode, and that's with Fluttershy. Remember what I said about putting your hoof down? People like the episode because, yay, she's doing things now! And this time, instead of verbally assassinating her best friends, she's creating more relationships where she can be in control. Speaking of which, these two episodes together paint a very unflattering picture of her, like a literal sociopath level picture. Though, unlike putting your hoof down, the humor does make up for some of the pain, and yes, character derailment. I really don't want to believe that Fluttershy would purposefully create a one-sided relationship. My final verdict? This is good fan fiction, where you're allowed to bend the characters, shoehorn in fan favorites, and make little sense as you do it. But it's a terrible actual episode where you have absolutely no leeway to do these things. Perhaps written for fans and by fans isn't always a great idea.